we want this week to end because, man, it has been great spring weather, a chance to get out there and I don't know, forget about some of the negative stuff going on in the world these
Oh,
days.
yeah.
Just enjoy
Kidding.
the
I know we were
outdoors.
just
Listen,
talking.
David, how you guys doing?
Good. We were just talking in the newsroom how we can't wait for Presque Isle and just to get out of work and to go to Presque Isle and it be warm out. But it is warm, but it's a little rainy today.
Yeah, a little bit this morning, but hey, you know what they say about those spring showers? They bring the May flowers. So yeah, well, I mean, the last few days we've been a good 20 degrees above normal. So if you think this is normal spring weather, it's not. This is more like late May. I mean, we should traditionally be around about 70 degrees later in May. So we're getting a little taste of a late spring, but we do have some of those rain showers out there. I'll flip the camera around in just a minute so you can see what's going on with Doppler Max. And we haven't really seen much rain here in Erie, but there's been some other spots that have certainly been dealing with the more active weather overall. Yeah, this is the high-tech technology here, me having to spin the camera around. But you can see out towards like the Jamestown area, towards Warren, Sheffield, Kane, Bradford. It's been raining for you guys for like the last 2 hours or so. It's been a pretty wet morning, but areas east of 79, you can see 79 goes through Erie down there towards Meadville right here. Most of the rain has been to the east of 79. To the west, we've got a few showers trying to develop into northeastern Ohio. So if you didn't see any rain this morning, you may be able to get in on a few of those isolated showers. But the real big soakers have been out there towards Warren and Bradford areas farther to the east. Well, we're actually looking nice and warm today, even with the rain in the forecast. We are still expecting those temperatures to be up there. This thing does not want to stay.
No, there's not an earthquake in the weather center.
Here we go. All right, there we go. I think that'll
70s again, right?
I mean, we haven't had rain in a while. It's not the worst thing, and it's warm rain.
Yeah, the flowers need it. You mentioned it, David. The gardens need it. I'm sure the farmers are welcoming it, and firefighters are probably also pretty glad to see.
Oh yeah,
with all the brush fire concerns that we've been having lately.
Yeah, I mean the land's been extra dry, so obviously we need some of that rain. Can't go dry for too long, and this is the time of year where it's often, things start turning very, very green pretty quickly because the ground's so soggy. But we've just had abnormally dry conditions in place. I mean, it's rare for it to be like this dry for this time of year. And so far this month, we've only seen a half an inch of snow, which is also very, very unusual. We're still stuck at that 60-inch mark for the entire season. So yeah, a little rain definitely is going to do us some good over the next couple of days. And if you missed out on the rain today, we've got the rain coming Thursday night and then into early Friday, but we've also got some pretty strong winds. We actually do have a high wind watch in effect for Thursday night and Friday. So a lot of stuff going on, and that's how it typically is in spring.
So what are you guys doing to take advantage of this, shot of almost summer-like weather in spring? I mentioned, I think yesterday that we got out and played around. I got out and played around the golf on Sunday, and then now this week I'm working on a backyard project, and the ground's not frozen solid. Lots of advantages to it's not too hot, so trying to get an outdoor project done this time, during this warm stretch. It's a pretty good time to do that. That's what I'm doing to try and take advantage of this warm up. What about you guys?
Actually, yesterday, Molly and I went for a nice long walk at the bayfront. So that was fun. Nice. We got outside. That's cool.
Hey, as long as you're outside, I feel like you're doing something right. Because I mean, you just don't see this kind of stretch of weather this time of year. But
you mentioned the zoo trip that you took recently. That's one.
Yeah, we went to the zoo the other day. Lainey's obsessed with animals. She just loves them, and so we'll be going to the zoo many, many times, especially on those really, really nice days. Yesterday, we were just outside in the front yard. Lainey was picking up her chalk, playing with her bubbles. She loves the outdoors.
This is your first spring at the new place, though, right?
What's that?
She's a simple kid. Give her dirt, give her sticks, give her
dirt, give her sticks, give her bubbles, and and she can see. She points to the school buses because normally we come out it's around 2-3 o'clock. She's always seeing the school buses, and she loves school buses. So Outdoor is
being
that's her like
Canada.
natural environment is to be outside.
Well, should we switch to bracket chat? Mark, you had
Oh,
Gonzaga
boy.
winning, right?
I don't. I have Gonzaga winning, and of course they're still in it. So's Michigan. But I lost Illinois and I lost Ohio State, two of my final four. But I feel like I'm pretty much right on par with 90% of the country in terms
Yeah,
of
so that's a say.
busted brackets go. So, but I haven't broken down the rest of my selections. I do know I have two of my final four left, but other than that, as far as my head-to-head matchup with Elena Jonathan in the Erie News Now Sunrise bracket challenge, yeah, I'm not quite sure how I'm doing on that. I know Elena's pretty depressed about her bracket, so I think it's almost a matter of it's not whose bracket is better, whose bracket is the worst. I think is where we're at right now.
Whose bracket is less worst?
Yeah.
Less worse. Well, I think you might be in the lead with two people still in it from your final four.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I feel like if you still have two teams in the final four, you're doing pretty
doing
well.
Yeah, you've made some good odds.
Yeah, I had BYU. I didn't even realize that they lost in the first round, to be totally honest. But the only one I filled out online was for the women's tournament, and so far I'm not doing fantastic. The picks I feel like are a little easier in the women's tournament, but there have been some upsets.
Yeah.
I got my Elite Eight is still looking good, so I'm going purely on the women's tournament. I don't even care about the
Me
men's
too,
tournament.
David.
Yeah.
I'm team UConn.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
Brett had
Who
UConn
are
winning
doing
the.
very well. They just beat Syracuse.
Yes, yeah, they did. I have them winning the whole thing, but on the women's side, not the men's side, like you, Bressa.
Yeah, well, they could just flip flop that. Make him pretend. I knew what I was doing.
You know,
the games will resume on Saturday, so I think we'll probably tomorrow kind of get our head-to-head bracket challenge in focus. It's you,
True.
David, versus Sammy Stone at Happy 937. And just given her admitted lack of basketball knowledge, I'm really counting on you to come through in that one. Brissa and Molly Samora. Brissa, you taking on Molly Samora. Has Molly been trash talking at all?
Not trash talking. I think she knew she was set up for success, so she didn't have to trash talk.
She didn't say anything when she learned you were filling out the bracket thinking it was the women's tournament.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
She's smart.
All over here.
but again, using logic in this stuff, it doesn't work. I just laugh. I laugh at the sports commentators because they're like going head to head, arguing and yelling at each other, and I'm like, just like, guys, you're all gonna be wrong anyways. So
Yeah. I saw zero people out there saying, Oral Roberts was going to, have a great tournament, right? So, other than maybe the Oral Roberts coach. But, hey, Jim's jumping on this morning, and I love this one. What are you doing to take advantage of the spring weather? Jim says, sending the kids to Florida to visit Grandma. Yay. I'm guessing that means the kids are gone. So, he's got the whole house to himself and the wife. So, yeah, he can do that, I guess. And Adam. This is the Brissa style taking advantage. Adam says, hey, went for a walk. So, yeah.
It's the simple things. It's just being outside.
The fresh air.
Breathing that fresh air. I know. It makes such a difference. It's good for your soul. It's good for your soul.
Kind of like that story of the concert that they're planning out at Port Farms in Waterford. Prior to this concert announcement, I have to admit, had never heard of Wild Feathers, but
I haven't either.
Listening to the plans for the concert and looking at the setting down at Port Farms, beautiful spot in Waterford, I'm, pretty much ready to step up and buy a ticket because just getting to do some of those more typical pre-pandemic outdoor activities, I just can't wait.
I know, just a sense of normalcy and something to look forward to in the warm weather and concerts and. It's exciting. Exciting news for them too.
A lot of times it's these little bands, like these little bands that, when they start in Nashville, they have to be pretty good, and it's those bands that can often be the most fun to go to because they start off like trying to make money at these bars, and then all of a sudden, they're able to go on a semi tour. And so it would actually be interesting to hear their music because I like country.
We got a little piece of it during Molly's report this morning. Lots of some nice sounding harmonies from this band, Wild Feathers. And I'm sure there are country music fans out there who are familiar with them. It's probably like, hey, these guys have been around for a while. But yeah, me, unfamiliar with the concept, but they sound great. And like I say, just a chance perhaps to stand outside, taking in some live music, in a safe setting. I think a lot of folks can get behind that idea. So. Look forward to that. The Seawolves, baseball season, those high school games down at UPMC Park. all sorts of signs, I guess, of optimism here as we warm things up outside and start to get everybody as many people rather, as vaccinated as possible. So lots of positives here, guys, moving forward.
Yeah, and the flowers are sprouting too. I realized in my yard that flowers are sprouting all over the place. I'm like, wait a minute,
That's great.
I don't think they're supposed to be sprouting up in the middle of the yard though. But
Well, it's still spring in a new location,
That might
David.
be
You're going to
a
learn a
weed.
lot about your property.
yeah, no, it's not a weed. It's definitely a daffodil. My yard's gonna be full of daffodils.
Nice.
Yeah, I've always wanted to just run through a field of daffodils. So
You might have the chance to, and you're very
yeah,
own backyard.
Lainey will do it, except she'll stomp all over them.
If you do it, slow it down, put some Chariots of Fire music behind it, and we'll
There you go.
All right, until we get that piece of video, guys, we got to get out of here, end this, scintillating conversation, and get everybody back to their business on this Wednesday. We'll be back here on Facebook Live tomorrow morning, and of course, bright and early, 5 a.m. on WICU for Erie News Now Sunrise. 2 hours worth. We'll see you then.